Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with this Aquarius season tarot reading for the birthday people of this month, for the idols that are having their birthdays or had already celebrated their birthdays. Today's turn is going to be for Stray Kids Magne, for Stray Kids Ian. So let's celebrate him and his energy. And let's see what the cards have to say, what he has available for this year. Um, let's talk a bit about his energy. Astrologically, he is an Aquarius with a moon in Leo, so that's very interesting mix. And because Aquarius and Leo are opposites and complementary signs to each other, so definitely a lot of like a mix of energies. I think that it's I think he belongs to the entertainment. Moon and Leo people, they do really well in this on the spotlight. Even though for them it's a whole it's a whole journey of self-discovery to actually connect with that moon Leo of theirs, and being like, okay, I'm comfortable to be in the spotlight. Actually these people are actually sometimes carried or exposed to fame or to the spotlight by their parents, or by someone of their inner circle. So it's a whole journey to get in contact with being in the spotlight. But the moon in Leo people can do it really well. They shine so much, and they definitely find a sort of belonging. At first it can be awkward, to see yourself so exposed, and because it's hard to be the center of attention. Guys, this is why sometimes when we do these readings for some idols, some of them are really it's a job for them, and some of them are not really comfortable with being on the spotlight all the time. They have their moments, they have restrictions, they have a sort of boundaries, like, okay, here on the stage I show myself this way, but when I'm off the stage or when I'm on a private environment, I don't want to be disturbed. I'm not that eager to participate in social gatherings and stuff, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and especially if you consider the criticism, and people assuming things about yourself just because they know your face, or they saw a video about you. So it's tough. Let's see the cards that Ian got. He got the card of the Hermit, the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, and the Knight of Pentacles. And then from the card of the Oracle of the Chakras, he got the card of Conclusion. So let's talk a bit about this. Starting off with the Hermit, I think that he is someone that he is slowly is starting to find his own identity. This is also something that people that have Leo energy, they have to sort of learn to integrate little by little. This sort of individualization. In the sense that, who am I? Besides being part of this group, and being part of this community, like, who am I? Who is like, what is my purpose? My individual purpose. What do I want to do? So I think that he is like doing some inner work. He's like he's also like taking a time to be by himself, and be on his own, and being a bit reflective about everything. There's a sense of a lot of maturity here. He's slowly like understanding a lot of things about himself. Um, I don't know. There's something about Ian. I don't follow Stray Kids content that much. I know who they are, but I don't know how they interact. I know he's the magnet, and I think that if I base on what I see in his body language or probably his picture, he seems like someone that is very youthful, you know, like he's the kind of person that I think that in the eyes of others, he will always be the baby, you know, uh, or the cute one, you know, and I think that there's something here that he slowly wants to set a difference between how people perceive him. He probably wants to be seen as more mature, or he wants to try to do some things edgier. You know, I think he wants to try another concepts. He wants to do something different. But there's something here that I think that it has probably to do with being the magnet of a group. Because as I was shuffling the cards, especially the oracle ones, the card of growth came out, actually jumped out of the deck and just like flew across the room. And it was the card of growth, but it was in reversed. So you know the oracles also can be read in reversed. But I didn't like I didn't pay attention to that card until it was like I already made a spread, and then I realized that a card had flown out of the deck. So I think that that card also has some information about I am, you know, because of the growth in reverse. So I think that probably there's something with the fear of growing, the fear of growing up. But I don't think it comes from him. I don't think he is. I think he's eager actually to be more mature. But there's something about his environment that actually they do not want him to mature, or they do not want him to experience that much expansion or growth from his actual role. You know, there's something probably, I don't know, it can be for a sort of branding or a sort of like image that they want him to stay always like youthful or to be perceived as cute. Um, or I don't know if maybe it's the desire of the fandom also to see him as this baby. Um, but definitely because of the card that I got here, the Oracle card that actually came out and that is in the spread for him, is the card of conclusion. So he's definitely very excited to enter a new state in his life. He's like slowly like waiting for this period to be over. You know, conclusion is about saying goodbye to your old ways. You know, probably he wants to experience a brand new side of himself. He wants to be seen under a different light. And it has to do with getting rid of an old image and embracing a new one. So, but I don't know how he's going to do it because that card that flew out let me know that there's something in his environment or people around him that are not going to make things easy for him to actually reach this level of maturity. I don't know if they want him to stay young forever or and I think that it's really interesting. I think that actually this is something that says a lot about the magnets of the group. I think that it's not just about again, I think that it goes beyond. It has to do with the industry, probably, you know, and this fear of aging, you know, and like what happens when you are no longer the cute, or when you are like becoming a man, and people just insist in seeing you as a baby. So, and then we have the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So definitely he is thinking about a bond with someone, an emotional bond. So maybe he is in love with someone, or he has feelings for someone. We got the Queen of Cups here. I think that probably this, if this is a female, it could be someone that is older than him, and probably this is why he wants to be seen as more mature, probably, and more like manly, to be seen by this female. Because I don't know, but I feel like this is a one-sided kind of love. Probably he does feel something for this person, but this person is not aware of that, and probably this person is also older than him. So he's like in this process where he's not telling anyone that he's feeling this way, because we start with the hermit. So definitely his whole process of acknowledging that he has feelings for someone, or that he's starting to experience a sort of need to have a relationship, or to like start dating probably, or like to give a relationship a sort of, to commit to someone, to think about a relationship. I think that he's questioning himself a lot. He's like reviewing his whole existence. He's like, oh, now I'm on a different stage in my life. I want different things for myself. And I think that is because of this female. This female is very. Her presence is somehow making him feel things that he didn't feel before. So he's like, suddenly he's starting to be a bit more brave, and connecting with his own desires. Because then we have the Emperor. So also there's this need inside of him to connect with his own masculinity and his own power and his own presence. So it's like he doesn't want to be seen like a boy in her eyes. He wants to be seen as a man. So there's something about him wanting to become a bit more assertive, and actually, like, I don't see that he's confused. I actually see that he has a sort of infatuation. He has a sort of like loving feelings towards this person. And I think that he's very serious about it, because we have the Two of Cups. Um, and then we have the figure of the Queen of Cups. Um, but I don't know. I don't know how she would feel about this if he says something. Because I sense that she's older, and I sense that she has a role of power, because the Emperor, as I mentioned, she sort of has this very like role of, she's a kind of role model, or she has a sort of authority. So I don't know, but he likes that, he admires that. And I definitely see him like trying to get close to her, like slowly, like slowly doing, like getting to know her, like listening to what her points of view are, her opinions are, what she likes, what she doesn't like, paying attention to extra details so he can get closer to her. So definitely I see him like slowly like making the effort to get to know her better. So it's actually very interesting, and I think that there's something about him wanting to be seen. He wants to be seen. He wants to be seen as, I wouldn't say boyfriend material, but he wants to be seen as a man that can be a good man, a good option to a female. Um, I think that he he definitely has this very humble desire to be a good man, a good a good person, you know, but he knows that he has to shine on his own, you know, like this is why I think that probably if this person works with him, he probably feels embarrassed to have all these people like talking about him as if he is this innocent child. You know, there's something about him wanting to, probably if he sees her, he wants to uh, these encounters to be when he's on his own or when he's by himself, you know, like, and probably he's always surrounded by others, so he's like trying to find the moment when he sees her when he's not with other people, you know, so they don't ruin the mood or so they don't ruin his approach, his actions, you know. And I see him like also like trying to change his body language, you know, to look more masculine, like trying to change the way he communicates and probably to look a bit more serious, you know, like I don't know why, but I also picture him like rehearsing or like looking at himself in the mirror and trying to to play a sort of situation so he can like change his expressions. There's something about him like, and also to accentuate and to promote his more attractive figures, you know. Probably he's also very interested into working out. I don't know if or actually like like improving his self-image, you know, and probably um, he wants to be more attractive and he wants to be more masculine. You know, there's he wants to so bad to go through a transformation like a makeover or a glow up, something like that. But he realizes that this change is not just like saying, "Oh, I'm going to go to the gym," or "I'm going to change the way I dress." It's more about attitude. I think that he wants to show this person and others that he actually has an attitude and that actually he is much more assertive than people want him to be, you know. And and he's like, yes, trying to find his moment to differentiate himself from the group, but not because he doesn't want to be part of the group, because he wants to have a sort of identity of his own, you know. So you know, I see him like trying to do activities on his own, you know, like slowly. um, it's really interesting. This year is going to be very interesting for him. It's not, these changes are, of course, are not going to be probably visible by the fans because it has nothing to do with actually work or actually his role in the group or his concept or the concept of the new comebacks and Stray Kids activity. It has more to do with his own individual process, his process of individuality, and also that he is maturing and that he wants to put an end to something. Because, you know, like I mentioned, we have the card of conclusion, here the card of the oracle, that is the card of conclusion. So he wants to put an end to something, you know, he wants to do a sort of like entering a new chapter in his life, you know. And I don't know if that's compatible with the group's image, you know, probably um, because I actually like seeing the emperor here, he can also be encouraged to do some individual activities, probably like emceeing or something like that. So he also is going to influence somehow his presence in the group. But yeah, I think that this female and this connection here and this sort of loving feelings that he has is very private, because we have the hermit here. So I don't think that he's going to give hints that he actually feels like this for this special person. This is very personal part of himself. But I think that when it comes to his career and his role in Stray Kids, he slowly also wants to show a new side of himself. So probably you will see like a small hints in his body language, or probably in his in the way he speaks or in the way he expresses himself, that actually he wants to experience something new, and he wants to be the center of attention. You know, he probably wants this year to be a year of um, a lot of like having more exposure, you know, in the sense of, okay, I'm the center, or I'm one of the members that, I don't know, got more, um, got a very um, important part of a song, or probably that he was praised because of his visuals or because of his performance. You know, like he's going to have that moment where people are going to up like appreciate more his, probably his distribution in the song. You know, I think that it also um it reminds me a lot of when I read for Lino last year. When I read for him, when I started when the year started, I read for Lino that he also was going to have opportunities to do individual things, so he would have to sort of adapt to be on the spotlight, because we know that uh, actually I perceived that Lino energy is not very eager to actually be in the spotlight. But once he got a taste of what it's like to be in the spotlight or to do individual activities, he's a whole new person right now. He's like having more interaction with other idols. He is also in a lot of activities, and he's enjoying himself, and he's showing himself, and he's showing his abilities, and he's showing that he's really funny and talented. So, and more people are recognizing him outside of being a member of Stray Kids. So, you know, for Lino was a whole year of a transformation, and also of allowing himself and getting comfortable to the idea of, okay, I'm not here, I'm in representation of the group, yes, but I'm here on my own, so I have to do the best for myself. And I also have to work with strangers, you know, which is not easy, you know, because it's easier actually to go with your members, you know, and it's not that it's a bit safer, you know, when you go with your group. But when you go with your own, you are like, I don't know these people. I don't know if they will like me. I don't know if I will fit in well. Um, but in the case of Ian seeing the Emperor here, I think that the Emperor and also the Knight of Pentacles, I think that he will also have his moments to do some individual activities where he will promote himself as well. But it's going to be slowly, you know, because the Knight of Pentacles here reminds me that his growth is going to be steady, is going to be stable. Of course, that he's going to achieve recognition, and he's going to be successful in his work, but it's going to be slowly. It's not going to be like, oh wow, now we see Ian everywhere, or we see him in his individual activities everywhere, like what happened with Lino, that suddenly after Kingdom, Lino was like emceeing here, emceeing there, being part of the show, and then the other show, you know, we saw Probably we'll see Lino also that because it's the year of the tiger, and I mentioned that the tiger the tiger idols are going to have also their moments. But in the case of going back to IM, I think that he's going to progress a lot. He's going to do a lot of progress, and the Emperor here is a very strong card. Definitely, I sense that he wants to be perceived as this very magnetic and this powerful person, and I think that he eventually will. I think that he will actually surprise a lot of people with his magnetism. I remember that his Mars is in Scorpio, so definitely I sense that he has like a very strong he's very magnetic in his actions, in the way his body moves, and also his body is very strong. So if he starts walking out, or he starts to like work on his body and his body strength more, he will probably be also recognized for his, or for the way his body or his body language is turning into much more masculine. Because I think that his face is always going to give you this very nice guy face, because he has a beautiful smile, and he shines very bright. He really looks like he has an Aquarius, very, very like youthful and boyish kind of face. But I think that he's going to, with his body language and with his presence, he's slowly going to get more comfortable with being seen more masculine. So I hope it makes sense, guys, because I'm always very, very honest and transparent, and for me, I know you don't see me here because actually I cannot record myself like shuffling the cards and placing them, but I always try to include in my narrative or in my interpretation, I try to include the backstage also, and the whole process of reading the tarot. So probably for people that are actually learning how to, or want to learn how to read tarot, they can listen to my experience. Of course, that we all, the tarot reading or being a tarot reader is a very intimate and individual experience. Like, what I do is not like a sort of textbook of how you're supposed to read, because the intuition also plays a huge role in this. But if I take everything that is out of the ordinary, or things that happened while I shuffle, or the things that come into my mind while I'm doing it, is because they are all part of a bigger message. So this is what I was like talking about this, the card, the oracle card of growth in reverse, that flew out of the deck while I was thinking about his energy. So I think that, I don't know if it is for business's purpose, but there's something about actually people not wanting him to like mature or get, and I'm not sure if the right word is get older, because it's not about age, it's more about like you will always be a baby. Or I don't know if maybe it's marketing, or it actually it serves a bigger purpose, but I think that, and I think that for IN it's different, because he actually doesn't want to be a baby forever. So there's a sort of like contradiction between what the environment wants out of him and what actually he's wanting to experience himself. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope it made sense, and I would appreciate your feedback if you're a fan of him or of Stray Kids. So thank you so much, guys, for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.